What is up, Roseby Dash? In today's video, we are going over the Monaghan, the Tier 6 USN Destroyer. This ship is still work in progress, so keep in mind things are subject to change. But they've added a B hull, and we got to try it out on stream, and it was actually a lot of fun. So what is the B hull? Now, if you guys remember the Monaghan from originally, it's basically a stealthier Farragut if you've ever played the Tier 6 USN Destroyer. This is basically a premium version. There was a little bit different. You were a little bit more stealthy, so you could technically stealth torp with a concealment of 6.3 and of course 6.4 kilometer torps, with the Farragut being at 6.6. So you were a little bit stealthier. You were down a gun on this, but you had a little bit higher health pool to trade off for it. But now with the B hull, you can actually change up. So if you go to here really quick, go to the B hull, what it does is it drops your main turrets down from 4 to only 2. So you just get 2 in the front, but since you drop the 2 main battery, you get a little bit more AA, so you kind of turn into a relatively high AA tier 6 destroyer, which we kind of haven't seen too much of the low tier high AA DDs, which this one can actually get the defensive fire AA, and I think the Farragut, yeah, the Farragut can't. So you can actually be an AA. So if you enjoy that kind of troll, if you've ever played like the Troll Sims build, Fletcher build, Benson build with the C hull, normally what you do on the Farragut is you end up taking the B hull, which gives you a lower health pool, but you get the 5th gun. If you've ever played the Farragut, you know that the guns have a really high alpha damage and can actually kind of destroy other destroyers, but you trade the health pool. So what this is basically originally it was a C hull Benson, or a C hull Farragut, with a little bit stealthier detection. So that was kind of the trade-off originally. But now you get this weird kind of AA ship, but you trade main batteries for AA. So you only have the 2 guns in front, but you get some tricks up your sleeve, which are Benson torps. So 2 sets of 5, 9.2 kilometer torps, 55 knots. Benson torps, if you've ever played the Benson, they're the same exact torps. So at tier 6, they're actually pretty good, because what do? They hit extremely hard. If you know anything at this health pool, at this tier, even getting a bottom tier going up, these torps are going to hit pretty hard. They aren't the fastest, and 9.2 kilometer range is a lot better if you are getting that higher tier, mid tier, or that top tier, mid tier, going into those 5s and 6s. Those torps hit really hard, so we got to do a little bit of play in game. Let's bounce over to that game and kind of show off what this B hull Monaghan can actually do against the enemies. So here we are in game with the Monaghan, and of course we play an AA ship and we don't get a CV, but we can still go, full-blown Monaghan and do Monaghan things this entire game. Now, just one thing to note, guys, that I am on a work-in-progress ship, so they don't give the rewards, so you won't see any like dev strikes or anything like that when they come up, but they definitely do happen in this game. So, Monaghan, if you've ever played the Farragut, you know that this thing is great, and I have a radio location captain for this tier, because they're extremely good at hunting destroyers, because they do so much damage with their guns. You can roll 3k, 3,500 salvos on destroyers with those 5 guns, and that's really punishing with the lower health pools. Now you have one of the highest health pools at tier 6, but with this setup you only have 2 guns, so you have to be pretty careful on what you do. But that actually lets you be a little bit more aggressive on destroyers, pushing smokes, because especially against Pan-Asian DDs, because you have the health pool at 16,000 with survivability expert. And you can actually be, you don't have to turn to get more guns on target. You're going to only get a max of 2. Now, would I ever use this hull? I don't know if I really would, but we did have some fun in this game playing it. I don't know how consistent it'll be, because you end up being more of a torp boat USN Destroyer, which I don't really find too exciting. But, I mean, I guess if you get pretty lucky and people don't really know what they're doing and they're kind of white line sailing, it can be pretty effective, which you see with a lot of lower tier ships. But anyways, we're eyeing up this Congo, and of course we're pushing those 4 DDs, and I'm trying to keep an eye on that. I figured the Congo was maybe the closest, because it's RDF isn't always on point, but when the switch right here, I knew there was some destroyer. Of course, pop smoke, and so with low tier, we'll just try to tee up. Now smokes are very exciting, so we'll throw it right on that point. And we'll try to get this Congo. Maybe he'll turn a little bit, slow down, and then it's going to be dead on. So, again, I'm just playing a little bit more of a scout, maybe trying to protect my guys. As you can see, our division was the only ones that were down on this side. And really just holding down this whole whole East Coast thing, and so nothing gets around, you know, being able to have RDF. I think this is actually my Benson captain for ranked, or yeah, I think my Benson captain, and so just kind of rolling around that 6.3 kilometer range. Now, of course, there's two Matsukis at Farragut and Leningrad, so we outspot or are pretty close to the detection on these guys. And of course, I was at this point, I'm like, man, this is gonna be really boring because these are torp boats. I'm not gonna get anything. And we got something. So there's a first blood double dev strike, double strike. Now they didn't show up, but the Monaghan is there you go. Now, if I was a normal Farragut, I would probably open up on this normal B hull Farragut. I would probably open up on this Atlanta because, you know, 17k life. You could really chunk them down a decent amount. But with two guns, you really have to hold your shots for, you know, you really have to hold your shots a lot. And really kind of pick the right situation. Now we get into a situation where we go against another DD later, and basically what you can do is you can just stay aggressive, having those two guns in the front. But yeah, it's kind of tough, really being that gunboat role when you only have, you know, normally 40% of the guns you normally have. Now they are Farragut guns, so they're going to hit hard still. But again, only having 40% of your normal armament is a bit of a downer. But those torps, especially at this tier, now normally if you would think of Benson torps, people kind of think of that tier, them being relatively slow, stuff like that. I think they're all in all decent. But, you know, just not having those guns is going to kind of... Again, I don't think... I like the Monaghan as it was, a bit of a stealthier Farragut. You can get stealth torps off technically with that 1/10 of a kilometer buffer. But this other hull... It takes away the fun. I feel like it would be very effective in what its role is, and being, let's say you want to be that kind of troll AA ship, you could definitely do it and run kind of a stealthier ship and just be the pseudo torp boat, pseudo roll boat. That's what's going to be really good about this ship, is if you want to play that role specific ship of an AA tier 6. So if you're running with the Ryujo, you're running with an Independence, you can be that great ship to kind of control in another area, like you would with an AA Sims, like you would with an AA Fletcher, a Grozovoy, you know, whatever you kind of want to run. So, and we got a little unlucky here. If these torps would have been a little bit faster, we could have potentially gotten another kill, and but we do get some pretty massive damage. But again, these torps at tier 8 are kind of decent. But these torps at this tier are actually pretty strong. They're, you know, 16,000, almost 17,000 max damage on the rolls. And if you get that, you know, especially against cruisers, you're going to start one-shotting cruisers. You know, an Atlanta takes 2 of them, they're dead. And I think an Atlanta takes 2 Farragut torps. It's going to not happen that often. But they'll probably survive it. It'd actually be pretty close, I would assume. So, really, this could be really effective. I just don't know if it's as consistent as I like. When I play a ship, thinking back, I probably should have taken the shot at the Atlanta, but Cleveland Farragut, I want to sneak up on this Farragut as well. I like consistency with my destroyer, so you're gonna get that with a full-blown gunboat. That's why I don't like playing IGN DDs that much. I just feel like they're literally hit and miss for all the damage. So right now, just kind of posting up, waiting for it. Torps are ready to go, and we already have 8 torp hits. We got that double kill right off the start, just taking care, and my team can start pushing up this side and just start preparing for this. But I want to stay away from that Cleveland, and I waited for that plane to go over. So it won't quite spot my torps. So I was hoping Mr. Sean right here would keep turning to the left, but didn't quite work. And as you can see, there's a DD down south, and he starts to turn now, but I think we just missed him. Sean didn't quite work with us here like I thought he would. But anyways, I love this tier. I love playing the Farragut. I like the Monaghan. I think this is a fun... You know, I wasn't even really interested in playing this, but I was like, you know what, let's just go play it. Let's go have some fun. Let's see what we can do, you know. And we end up having a decent little game with it. But I think this is just going to be like a lull, you know, a lull switch. Maybe if they kept like a 3rd gun, because now we're going to start showing off the guns. And it's just kind of funny of just watching only 2 shells go out. You kind of feel like, I think it's the Matsuki that only has 2 shells at this tier, or they're near this tier. And so you're just, you know, plinking away 2 shells at a time. Maybe if they kept a 3rd one, but I mean, if they kept a 3rd one, then would it just be too strong? You know, they could continue to, you know, they could continue to tweak this because it's still work in progress. But I just find it kind of funny to only, and you'll kind of feel the feels bad man later in this game when I'm trying to hit the CV with some shells, but or one of the ships with some shells. I think it's the Cleveland this late game. But you're just plinking away with your 2. The upside is you can be aggressive because you don't need to give up any broadside to be able to get all your guns on target, which is good. But just the downside is that when you're on target, there's only 2 shells going out. Yes, they're going to hit relatively hard for 2 shells. You have a decent reload for 2 shells, but still, it's only 2 shells. So, I don't know. Let me know in the comments below what you guys kind of think about this. You really, you know, USN gunboats are kind of known for having that a little, you know, that perfect balance of decent torps with decent guns. You know, which I really enjoy that playstyle. But this kind of makes it a little bit more of what it really isn't most of the time. You know, normally it's a, you know, you get that balance. This is going a bit more of a torp boat and a little less of gunboat. So it's going a bit more towards like the IGN playstyle than I particularly like. But anyways, it's different to kind of see. You know, Wargaming's always trying to find like a niche or something to make it unique or something to set a ship apart from one another. And I thought the Monaghan just being a little bit different than the Farragut was fine with the original A-Hull. But to add this, I mean, I guess it's different. I guess that's kind of fun. And, you know, honestly, I had fun this game because we had a decent game. And, you know, we started off with a First Blood double strike, double dev strike. I mean, that's always a good start to the game, right? But will I play this hull? Like, is this going to be my main setup for my Monaghan in the future? No, because, I mean, although it's fun to mess around and you can play that a specific way, I don't think I'm going to do anything like I would have killed that Atlanta a long time ago if I had the other hull. Now, would I have gotten that dev strike earlier, that double dev strike? Probably not, because I would have probably been spotted or just not pushed that close. I mean, maybe I would have, but I mean, in most situations you're just not going to. But you'll kind of see like the almost T-Rex arm syndrome going right here when we start firing at this Cleveland. And I'm gonna start posting up and start trying to work him down, but I guess I'll call it like the T-Rex syndrome right here of, you know, 5 shells, I say give me 2 salvos and he's dead. 1 to range it and 1 to kind of hit. Maybe hit him on the first couple. But this is just so funny to watch this happen in chat. You know, you got 2 shells, 2 chances to hit them, and you just can't quite connect because there's not enough going out. And I thought this was kind of funny. And we're overfiring, underfiring, because it's actually kind of hard to track it. Now we thought it'd be kind of funny if Wargaming made a single firing ship, but it had an extremely high rate of fire. Like if this is a normal Monaghan or Farragut that Cleveland's dead a long time ago, we just get him on that shell. So I just stopped shooting. I was like, you know, I'm not gonna hit him. There's no reason. And but anyways, a fun game. Almost got a crack and we actually got one of our kills stolen, and for the first game out. So will I play this? Will I play this as we try to get our Kraken right now? Although we can't even get a Kraken. Will I play this hull a lot? Probably not. Was it fun to goof around on? Yeah. Is it unique? Yeah. Let me know in the comments below what you guys kind of think about the B hull. Again, work in progress, guys, so things are subject to change. Do I think they'll change too much about this? Probably not, because it's just different, and Wargaming likes to have that with ships. So a unique situation and a unique kind of, I guess, changing up the playstyle for a ship that we basically have a normal tree version of. And 97k, 4 kills, bunch of torpedoes, a bunch of awards we didn't get, and again, let me know what you guys think of this playstyle. That's the B-Hull, though. Still work in progress, so things are subject to change. A ship I'm actually excited for because I enjoy the Farragut a lot, and the Monaghan is just a premium version of it. So anyways, guys, that's it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.